Today, on the Vince Everett Ellison Show. Yeah, you know how the Democrats shut down the government a few weeks ago because they said they wanted subsidies for Obamacare? Well, the Republicans say, we're going to give you the subsidies, but we don't want you to use it for abortion. They said, nah, we're going to shut down the government again. Yeah. If we can't kill children, we want people to starve. That's the Democratic Party. If we can't kill children, we're going to let America starve. And we're going to talk about that today on the Vince Everett Ellison Show. All right, let's get this thing started. I told you that the Democratic Party was a party of perverts, liars, psychopaths, and anti-Christian bigots. Psychopaths is what we're talking about today. The psychopath part of the Democratic Party. Now, this psychopath part is also the part that's going to have to take care of the thugs, hoes, and rappers, okay? Psychopaths. So what you talking about, Ellison? I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about. You remember a few weeks ago, Democrats shut down the government for the whole month of October. Why did they do that? Well, they said that Obamacare, or the Affordable Care Act, the ACA, Affordable Care Act, that in the budget there wasn't any money for the subsidies to help people pay for their premiums. And that a lot of people were going to lose their health insurance because they needed the money. Republicans say, no, the government's about to implode. We can't spend any more money because you're using this money for illegal immigrants. Democrats, no, we ain't. You lying. We ain't doing that. Yeah, you are. Yes, you are. Illegal immigrants are getting money. They're going to the emergency rooms. They're getting all kind of money for medical care. It's coming from the state, and you're using your state money for illegals, and you want to use federal money for your citizens. Use your state money for your citizens. And we'll give you some money for your citizens also. We're not giving you anything anymore for illegals. We're not going to give you money, and then you give your state money to illegal immigrants. You're not going to do it any longer. Well, Democrats got mad, shut down the whole government. So Republicans made a deal with them. They said, well, I'll tell you what, if y'all give us some votes and open up the government, we promise you that we will give a vote on the Affordable Care Act sometime in December. They said, you promise? He said, we'll negotiate about the subsidies and all of that, and we'll vote on it in December if you open the government up. They said, bet. They shook hands on it. Okay, so now the government's open, and they're sitting down there in negotiations about these subsidies, okay? So the Republicans and Democrats are talking about these subsidies and how we're going to extend these subsidies to people who are poor. Republicans say, okay, we'll give you the subsidies, Democrats. All the thing you shut the government down for, all this stuff you've been raising hell about, we'll give you the subsidies. We ask you to do one thing. Democrats say, what's that? Don't use any of this money for abortions. Democrats didn't even hesitate. They said, hell no. If we can't kill babies, we're going to shut the government down again. Pause for effect. Now, I know what y'all saying. Vince on the line. Vince on the tripping. Ain't nobody that low now. Ain't nobody going to be talking about shutting down the government so they can kill babies and have abortion. That's Vince lying again. He took it too far. He make me sick. Okay, all right. I'm going to read you what the white man said about it. I guess you believe me then. What the Washington Post said. Here's the Washington Post. It says, a fight over abortion could doom Congress's health care plan. Subtitle, Republicans and Democrats are deeply divided over a potential change in the ACA subsidies. All right. I'm going to read you the story. It says, Democrats emerged from the longest government shutdown in history with a hard-won promise from Republicans. The Senate will vote next month on legislation to extend Affordable Care Act subsidies that Democrats desperately want to preserve before they expire at the end of the year. They're going to vote on it. But Democrats will need Republican votes to pass a bill, and a deep divide between the parties over abortion is already threatening to scuttle any deal. Republicans, under pressure from anti-abortion advocates, have insisted that any extension should include additional restrictions on abortion coverage for plans that get government subsidies. Democrats will refuse that request. Continue. Quote, that's the message that we've shared with a lot of our Democrat colleagues. You can't do it under your existing framework. And you're never going to get any Republican votes because we believe strongly taxpayer dollars should not go to fund abortions, says Senator Mike Rounds, Republican, South Dakota. It's pretty clear. Republicans are solid on that particular issue. Now, Republicans don't want abortion. Listen to me here now. Democrats want to kill children. America is dying. We have a replacement rate, a birth rate at 1.6%. For us to stay where we are, it's got to be at 2.1, and we've been there, y'all, for the last 10 years. The nation is dying, and the Democrats are saying, full speed ahead, we want to use government money to keep killing children. Democrats argue that the subsidies already contain anti-abortion restrictions and that Republicans are picking a fight that will doom the nascent negotiations. Quote, to think that they would use this as the demand which they know is not ever going to get Democrat support. What it tells me is that they're not serious about extending these tax credits, and they're not actually trying to find a path forward, said Senator Tina Smith, Democrat, Minnesota. She says that they know that it is not going to ever get Democrat Party support. Ever. She said if they can't kill children, you will never get our support. Man, you know what? That's a sick mindset. I told you he's sucking a psychotic. See what I'm talking about now? Bunch of anti-Christian psychotics. They're going to tell you that they want to use government money to kill a child that's done nothing wrong. Our Bible tells us, Jesus said, if anybody hurts one of these little ones, it's better that a millstone be tied around their neck and they be thrown into the sea. How are you going to say that this is proper? When are you going to tell these young people it's time for you to hold yourself accountable for your actions? The child has done nothing wrong. They lie to you and tell you the child's not alive. Well, how is it not alive when the definition of life is that it has metabolism, it has growth, it responds to stimuli? A woman said, you can't tell me what to do with my body. We're not telling you what to do with your body. We're telling you what to do with the baby's body. It's not yours. That child has a different DNA. Sometimes that child is a boy. So it's not your body. We are obligated by nature and by law to give aid to someone who can't take care of themselves. That child is in your body and needs your help. You're going to deny it? You're going to kill it? And Lord, and then these people lie to you and say that it's not a sin. And they're paying you to do it, instead of telling you the truth. Honey, you're supposed to marry before you carry. We all know where babies come from, and if you lay down with that boy, you're going to get pregnant. 99% of all abortions come from two people making a decision to lay down with each other. It doesn't come from incest. Doesn't come from rape. No, it doesn't come from any of that. And instead of us telling these young people the truth, and that is, you have the ability to control yourself, we're going to demand that you do it. And if you do decide to lay down with someone, young lady, it should be someone that you're intending to marry. And if you're intending to marry that person, once you get pregnant, you guys go ahead and speed that thing up and tie that knot. You shouldn't be out there laying around with somebody you're not going to marry. Doesn't that make any sense to you? You shouldn't be laying down with anyone you don't love and you don't want to marry. Now, that's rocket science, man. That's just a new concept, isn't it? That's just a new concept. Yeah, there's a lot of people that used to get married and the young lady was pregnant. That's where the shotgun wedding thing came from. But usually the two people cared about each other enough and wanted to marry. Oh, not now with the hookup culture. Man, they even got this thing called Plan B. And this Plan B drug is one that you take like the day after or the night after you get down with somebody that you just decide you just want to get down with. And the odd thing about these Plan B things is that they try to tell you that they're safe, but they're passing laws now to protect pharmaceutical industries from getting sued. So if they're safe, why you got to pass laws to protect these pharmaceutical industries? If one of these pills harms or kills one of these children. Wow. Wow. Y'all, they don't care anything about you. They don't care anything. You know, they're trying to have it fixed in a lot of states where these young girls can go have abortions without their parents' permission. They have over 1 million abortions a year in America. In some cities like New York and L.A., they have more abortions than they have live births. In states like California and New York, you can have abortion up to the 9th month. In a lot of states, they have unlimited abortion. The Democrats are trying to get it done all over the country. The Democrats are trying to get it fixed where you can have an abortion up to the 9th month for any reason you want whatsoever. People, don't you see that's demonic? And that if you vote for this, you are complicit in murder? How are you complicit in murder? Well, I use this example in my documentary where you go to help from me. You don't need to buy it. But the best documentary you ever saw. Think about this. I'm at my house. Guy walks up to my house, knocks on the door. Hey, Vince. Hey, John, what's up? Can I borrow you 45? What you need it for? I'm going to go over there, I'm going to kill Sam. You going to kill him? I'm going to blow his brains out. Give me a 45. It's all right. Give it to him. He go kill Sam. 30 minutes later, police come knock on your door. Vince, yeah. You give Mike this gun? You go kill Sam with us? Yeah, I gave it to him. You knew he was going to kill him. Yeah, but Sam's dead. Well, too bad. Yeah, too bad for you. Why? Because you going to jail for complicity to commit murder. What are you talking about, man? He knew you. He told you he was going to kill him. You gave him the means to kill him. He killed him. You're complicit in murder. You got a murder charge too. Come on, get in the back of the car. That's the same thing that's going to happen with you when you go stand before God. He's going to say, you knew these Democrats were going to kill these children, did you not? Yes, I did. You knew they were going to use federal money to kill them, did you not? Yes, I did. You gave them the means to do it with your vote, did you not? Yes, I did. Well, go ahead. Put some gasoline on your drawers. Send you straight to hell. Do you want original or do you want extra crispy? It's going to be the only question he's going to have for you. I'm just trying to tell you the truth. The Democrats ain't going to tell you the truth. As I've told you before, C.S. Lewis said hell is a choice. You choosing to go there if you voting for the Democratic Party. I'm just making, see how simple this is? This ain't putting no nuance in it for you, player. You vote for a cabal of liars, perverts, psychopaths, anti-Christian bigots. People that kill children up to the 9th month. People that castrate little boys and call them little girls. Give double mastectomies little girls, call them little boys. Got drag queens in the school shaking their asses in the children's faces. Then put God out of the other library, the Bible out of the library, to put porn in the library. The nation is dying. Everywhere they rule. Go to any ghetto. You know who rule it? Democratic Party. And it's chaos. And Satan rules in chaos. God rules in order. So now, you got the Republican Party saying, you want these subsidies, don't you? Yeah. You shut down the government to get them, didn't you? Yeah. All we ask is one thing from you, dog. What's that? Don't kill no children with it. Hell no. Hell, what do you think we want the subsidies for? We want to kill children. That's why we passed the thing, man. We passed the thing for two reasons. Sex change operations for LGBTQ people, free sex change operations, and abortion. We couldn't get insurance to pay for those two things. So now with Obamacare, we could. And y'all gonna vote for him. And then you're gonna wonder why you ain't got nothing out there in the streets. You're gonna try to argue about why your neighborhood's in such disarray, why your schools are in such disarray, why everything in your lives is in such disarray, why you die young, why your children die young, why you're on drugs, why your communities are just completely imploding. This is why. No standards, no accountability, and I'm going to tell you, baby, it's karma. Unless you repent, karma going to tear your behind up. And the only way to get out of karma, repentance. I'm showing you and I'm telling you. If this isn't one of the greatest indicators in the world of how evil the Democratic Party is, I don't know. Now, it's bad enough that the Republican Party isn't demanding that the Democratic Party just end abortion all over America. No. They're just saying, we don't want you to use the Affordable Care Act to pay for it. Go to charity, use your own money, use your own state money. We just don't want you using no federal money. Why? Because there are people that pay taxes to this government that don't want their tax money going to kill children. They don't mind feeding them. They don't mind giving them braces. They don't mind protecting them. They don't mind giving them an education. They just don't want to kill them. And see, this is how the Democratic Party is putting this country in a direct conflict with the Word of God, so that God will take his hands off of America and kill it. America is already one of the least religious countries in the world. That's why we're dying. That's why the West is dying. We don't believe in the absolutes of God any longer. We believe that we know what right and wrong is. You can murder your own. You're not supposed to murder your own children. Yes, we can. The only correct marriage is the marriage between one man and one woman. No, it's not. I control the weather and the earth. No, we do. God says, I determine what right and wrong is. No, we determine what right and wrong is. You see, you hadn't seen too much about this in the news, have you? If I hadn't read it to you today, you know nothing about it. You know why? Because the press is embarrassed to tell you this. They don't want to tell you that the Democratic Party wants to use the Affordable Care Act to murder children. That they are holding up the subsidies. Listen now, they are holding up the subsidies from you so they can kill children. I want you to get this in your head. About 40 million Americans get subsidies. These are poor people that need insurance. All they was crying out, poor people need this insurance. Poor people need this subsidy. Y'all gonna cut these people up. We'll give it to them. But we want you to not kill children with them. No, if we can't kill children, we don't want them. We are going to take the subsidies from these people unless you allow us to kill children with the Affordable Care Act. Y'all need to ponder that for a minute and see how low down that is. Planned Parenthood says if you don't let us kill children with this money, we are not going to let you give subsidies to the poor people who need this for braces, eye surgery, heart attacks, cancer, broken legs, knee replacements, car wreck, legitimate things. They'll hold it all up if they can't kill children. And y'all gonna go and vote for these people. How do you cure abortion? Stop sleeping around with men you don't care nothing about. Is that asking too much? Obviously it is. I mean, I did a podcast on wholeflation. I guess I want to keep wholeflation going. We have to be able to sleep around with whoever we want to and then kill our children. Boy, that's a bad guy. I'm almost cussed. I'm sorry. Woo! My mother and my grandmother didn't even thought of such a thing. I want to be able to go, you're saying I want to be able to go sleep around with men I don't care about and then kill my children when I get pregnant by them and do it over and over and over again. And you don't think you're going to pay some price for that. And the Democratic Party is giving you subsidies to do it. What a world, what a world, what a world we live in. I hope the Republicans stand strong with this. And I hope the Republicans say, if you're going to kill children with the Affordable Care Act, we'll scrap it. We're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. I hope they put this on blast. I hope they tell the whole world about it. I hope everybody knows. Because at the end of the day, y'all, it's going to be very, very obvious to the world that all of you who vote for this Democratic Party, you're just not complicit in evil. You're evil yourselves. As I say again, the Democratic Party, I call them ICE Democrats. They're made of three types of people: ignorant, crazy, and evil. I do this podcast to try to help the ignorant ones. So you guys that hear me today, you're hearing this. If you decide to still go ahead and do this, you're no longer ignorant. You lead from the ignorant category to the evil category, okay? So the ICE Democrats got a little beat to go with it. The ICE Democrats go, ignorant, crazy, evil, okay? Ignorant, crazy, evil, all right? Ignorant, crazy, evil. So we're going to start taking some. I thought about like 80% were ignorant, about 10% was crazy. You can't help them. Crazy jokers just ain't help for him. You just love him, try to put him somewhere you don't hurt nobody, hurt yourself, okay? And then there are the evil ones. These are the ones who are educated. They're smart. They choose to be evil. They like being evil. Our Bible says they cannot sleep unless they do evil. So we're going to start probably putting more of you in the evil category. And it's getting close now where it's probably about maybe 20% evil, 70% ignorant, 10% crazy. You always have that 10% crazy. But the ones who are now no longer ignorant and are voting for this party with the full knowledge of what they intend to do, I'm putting you in the evil category now. All right? We cool? All right. So y'all share this. You subscribe. You comment. And I'm going to keep bringing this to you because I'm here to wake you up. And I hope I did you some good here today. So come join me again for another edition of the Vince Everett Ellison Show. All right, friends, Vince Everett Ellison is here. I want you to go to my website. And on my website, you're going to see a lot of great stuff, man. You're going to see that we got T-shirts. We got caps. You got my books, my documentaries. You got all kinds of stuff on VinceSpeaksTruth.com. Go there. We're dropping new T-shirts. We're dropping new merchandise. My new book, The End of Tolerance, is there. The End of Tolerance. Make sure you get it. Make it #1. If you got my first 3, get The End of Tolerance. It's just as good. And it's telling us we have to end our tolerance with these leftists, these Democrats. We no longer allow them to sexually groom our children. We can no longer allow them to castrate little boys and call them little girls, run God out of the public square, take away our guns, take away our sovereignty. No longer allow it. So go on VinceSpeaksTruth.com. That is VinceSpeaksTruth.com. Hit merchandise. You'll see the T-shirts. You'll see the caps. You'll see the books. You'll see the documentaries. You'll see it all. And let's keep this ball rolling. God bless you.